Delgado, which began in 2017, has grown into a complex crisis, worsened by cyclones, floods, and drought. All 17 districts have now been affected, displacing more than 1.3 million people. The agency warns families are reaching their limit as civilians face killings, abductions, sexual violence, and forced child recruitment.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Wednesday, the 8th day of October for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all the news, weather, and sports that you need to get through the day here today. Going to be talking about the Nebraska football team. Of course, they continue their preparations for Saturday's road matchup against the Terrapins of Maryland. We're going to have some comments coming up during the show today from Nebraska offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson. The TV schedule is out for the Nebraska men's and women's basketball teams. You're going to see a lot of the games on the national TV this year. We'll tell you about that coming up. Hastings College soccer teams are going to be in action tonight out at Lloyd Wilson Field against Concordia. A couple of matches you'll be able to hear this evening here on Extreme Sports. The Nebraska Kearney volleyball team in action last night picked up a sweep of Fort Hays State as the Lopers' undefeated season continues. UNK is now 18-0 on the season. Going to be talking a lot of high school softball today. Hastings St. Cecilia powering their way to the C1 Subdistrict Softball Championship yesterday with a pair of wins. We'll tell you who the other winners were and what the schedule is going to be in the next few days. Had some volleyball matches last night with all three Hastings teams in action. Major League Baseball playoffs continuing. Plus, we've got our survivor picks coming up for week number 6 of the NFL season. As you can tell on the board, if you're on our video sites this morning, the number in the upper right-hand corner, that's how many people are still alive in our survivor pool. We started with, 52? We're down to 8. And among the 8, yours truly and the guy on the opposite side of town, Tyson Havronic. You and I are still alive amongst the 8 people in the survivor pool, but we'll have our picks coming up here at about 7:30 this morning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good morning. Survivor, full swing, 6, officially, I guess you could say, 6 remaining after you and I have kind of stayed alive and stayed the course, but ineligible for the prize package. So we'll make our picks. We've been kind of steady Eddie on the survivor side of things, vastly different from what we're seeing on the overall records in terms of Blazing 5, but steadying through the course. This survivor thing, man, this is the only time that I haven't been on page 3, so excited about that. You mentioned baseball playoffs. Holy cow. What a game last night with the Yankees and Blue Jays. Just a wild affair. I think a 5th inning that had 12 runs between the two teams in it, and capped off with an Aaron Judge 3-run shot to tie it, and then just the Yankees working their magic and extending that series and keeping hope alive. And I think Wednesday they're going to throw Cam Schlitter out there, and he had that phenomenal performance that kept the Red Sox bats at bay, so they can bounce right back into this thing and tie things up at 2. We're about 2 minutes into the game. You were continuing to hear the Yankee fans talking about fire the coach, and, well, now they're 9 innings away from taking this to an if necessary game in Game 5, so exciting stuff in the American League. The Mariners bats, boy, they just decided to go bananas last night. Another home run for Eugenio Suarez. Cal Raleigh goes yard, and the Mariners take the 2-1 lead on Detroit. So Lots happening. Hockey drops the puck on the season last night. Excited to get going here for a Wednesday.
Yeah, you mentioned the Major League Baseball playoffs. 2 games last night. All 4 series going to be resuming today. So you've got Seattle at Detroit in the first game, followed by Milwaukee at Chicago, then Toronto at the Yankees, and Philadelphia at the Los Angeles Dodgers. So 4 games on the tube today in the Major League Baseball playoffs. You mentioned Survivor. Heck, we could be down to a champion after this week.
Could very well be.
Yeah, we've got 8 left, including you and I. So the powers to be deem that we are not eligible to win the prize package. So we're in essence down to the 6 people in the Survivor pool. And again, the champion going to receive that 55-inch TV donated by Mid-America Truck Sales of Hastings. You got to get the flat-top grill to help out with your tailgating grilling needs here this fall. You get the gift card to Moleta Vista Winery up in St. Paul. We're going to treat you to a dinner and some drinks out of Bullseye Sports Bar and Grill. You get the oil change from Cotton Auto Care of Hastings. And you get the 60-minute head spa experience with KK and the crew down at Bamboo Mine and Body Spa. So that all goes to the champion of Survivor. Who knows? It could happen. We could be awarding that sometime next week. You got your Survivor pick ready?
Nope.
What do you mean, nope?
I mean, I'm still making a decision.
It's going to come down to the wire?
I have it down to a couple teams, but I haven't circled yet.
You haven't locked it in?
Haven't locked it in, but as the show progresses and as we dive into the commercial break, we're going to force ourselves to make that decision. I'll tell you where I'm looking.
All right.
I'm in kind of the Broncos and Jets territory and Rams and Ravens territory.
Okay.
Looking at those games particularly, you got an interesting one with the Patriots and Saints. I think could be a game that you could lock in, and maybe Steelers Browns. So
the Vision boys, before we got on here at 7, just a few minutes ago, they were talking in their Survivor pool, Tennessee and the Raiders. Tennessee is playing in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Las Vegas favored by 4.5 this weekend. They said virtually that's a lock.
Raiders?
Yeah, they like the Raiders in their Survivor pool. They're out in Vegas. They're at Circa.
Have they watched the Raiders?
But have you watched Tennessee?
They just got to win.
Yeah, but it was kind of giving it to them.
Literally giving it to them.
Yeah.
I mean, as the guy that crosses the goal line, drops the football, and next thing you know, Tennessee uses some momentum. But, I mean, they're at least riding a win. Vegas got destroyed.
I'm just telling you what they were talking about before you got up.
That's not going to influence my pick one way whatsoever. That's going to be awful football.
I think there's 5 or 6 ways that you could hammer out a Survivor pick for this week for the people that we got remaining in the pool. I think there's 5 or 6 different games that would be good Survivor picks. So that's coming up at 7:30 this morning. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals head office was listening to our show yesterday.
Yeah.
Shortly after we got done at 8 o'clock, Cincinnati, they make a trade to bring in a new quarterback after we dished on on Cincinnati's quarterback room yesterday. Jake Browning has taken over for Joe Burrow, who's on the shelf for like 3 months. And we dished on the Cincinnati executives for not really having a backup plan for Joe Burrow, that they are continuing to go with Jake Browning as the starting quarterback for Cincinnati. Well, shortly after our show yesterday, they went out and they traded for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco will be going from Cleveland to Cincinnati. Cincinnati also receives a 2026 sixth-round draft pick, while Cleveland landed a fifth-round pick in the trade. So Flacco goes from Cleveland to Cincinnati to join that dumpster fire at Cincinnati. Flacco completed 58% of his passes for 815 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions in 4 games with the Browns. He ranks 31st among 32 qualifying quarterbacks in total quarterback rating. And that's 2 spots higher. No, Jake Browning is 2 spots higher. He's at number 29. So statistically, they bring in a worse quarterback than they've got in Jake Browning. But I like my chances a little bit better with Joe Flacco running the Cincinnati offense than Jake Browning.
1,000%, yes. I mean, just the way Browning was awful. I mean, he looked terrible. And Joe Flacco has that kind of steady Eddie feel about him. I mean, a guy that's been there, a guy that's won football games for you down the stretch. And yeah, I mean, as far as an offensive leader and can run in that offense, it's Joe Flacco's. And there's a microcosm of an offensive line there that can block for him, unlike what's going on in Cleveland. So, yeah, I'm with you. I like my chances with Joe. Jolton Joe Flacco looking to like 3-time comeback player of the year in the NFL, and I look for that trend to continue.
So to create a roster spot for Flacco on the 53-man roster, they get rid of a quarterback in Brett Rippon. Obviously, he had no he had no spot on the team because if Rippon was on the staff and he was ready to go, he would have been in by now because of Jake Browning turning the ball over so much at Cincinnati. So the Bengals, they cut ties with Brett Rippon. They bring in Joe Flacco. Now, does Flacco see the field this weekend?
Yeah.
I think he does. He's in on they made the trade on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably practice with the team today, maybe give him half of the offense to work with as far as the playbook is concerned. I say Flacco starts this week. I haven't seen the official word, but I say Flacco starts this week for Cincinnati.
I mean, no reason to keep him on your bench, right? You go out there and you get a guy to hopefully steady the waters offensively. You're going to roll with him. If you're Zach Taylor, you're gonna roll with Joe Flacco. So, yeah, fully expect Joe to go.
And look at Cleveland now.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Dylan Gabriel is going to be your starting quarterback this week. Flacco is gone, so you know who that moves up to number 2.
Okay.
Shadur Sanders.
Sure.
It'll be the number 2 quarterback. Yep. The Cleveland fans are going to get what they were hoping for.
What's that?
Well, Shadur is going to...
I don't think they were hoping for it. Ask any Cleveland Browns fan, they were not hoping for Shadur Sanders.
But now that he's on the roster and he's one of your 2 quarterbacks left, they've virtually cut ties with remember their quarterback room at the beginning of the season? We said, what the hell is Cleveland doing with 5 quarterbacks on their roster?
Trade bait.
And that's what it has been. They've traded them all away except for their 2 rookies now in Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders.
Good, you pray for good health for Dylan Gabriel. My God.
Yeah, the last time we saw Shadur Sanders in a game was the preseason game, one of the last ones, the preseason last games that Cleveland played, and he was sacked like 5 or 6 times in that game.
Yep.
And threw a couple of interceptions. That was
shocker.
Yeah, that was the last image I saw of Shadur Sanders. You see, speaking of Sanders.
Yeah, Dion is like not healthy.
Yeah, Dion had to go under a medical procedure yesterday, late last night. He's been nursing those blood clot problems in his legs. Evidently, I didn't see this on Saturday, but he couldn't even stand on the sidelines on Saturday during the Colorado game. He actually was sitting in a chair on the sidelines during portions of that game on Saturday. So he had an appointment to see his doctor on Monday, and they immediately had to operate on his legs for some blood clots. He's expected to coach this week, but obviously he's spent some time away from the team, so Deion Sanders continues to have some problems health-wise.
Yeah.
All right, so the chief is already chiming in with us on the social media sites. He's with us. He says, no question, the Bengals have got to play Flacco this weekend.
Yeah, you don't bring in a quarterback like that to have him sit on the bench.
Even if he only knows half of the offense, that's got to be better than...
Joe Flacco's been in the league for 45 years. I think he knows every single offensive scheme and pass play there is. Like, I don't think the Bengals are going to throw him a loop with a different offensive scheme. So, I mean, he's just a smart football guy. Go out and execute.
Another guy we haven't heard a lot from lately, Odell Beckham.
Wow.
And now he has accepted a 6-game suspension for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs, delaying his comeback attempt. Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent. He said he failed a PED test last season when he was a member of the Miami Dolphins, so it's taken this long for the suspension to come down. A 6-game suspension now for Beckham. He's going to be 33 by the time this suspension ends, which means he's got a birthday coming up. He reiterated that he wants to return to the NFL this season.
No.
And he says there are 4 franchises that he'd be interested in joining.
What? That he'd be interested in joining. So, like, this is, hi, I'm Odell Beckham Jr., but I'm only going to play for these 4 teams.
Yeah, and those 4 teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Toxic.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Go for him. Have him. Take him.
Our room is full. And 2 of his former teams, the Los Angeles Rams and the New York Giants.
I could see him going back to New York after they lost Malik Neighbors as like an emergency wide receiver. Dude's a prima donna and a toxic environment for the locker room. Just the vibe that I get, especially Odell Beckham at 32, where he just wants to come on for a short-time contract. If you're telling the NFL that you're only going to play for 4 teams coming in, like, I don't want any part of that. I don't want any part of that, of a guy that's not willing to make the team better, that's not willing to come in and take any NFL offer to go play the greatest game on the earth. And you're telling all these NFL executives, yeah, I'm only going to pick 4. No, I'm not riding the Odell Beckham comeback train.
Beckham, he won't be eligible to play until week 12 now. The NFL season. So he's really got to go to a team that's either...
going to hang around in week 12.
Yeah, well, and that their season isn't over, that they're out of the playoffs. He's going to have to go to a playoff contender, maybe with a team that's got some depth problems at wide receiver, maybe to bring him in for a handful of plays. But, yeah, I'm with you. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs will need Odell Beckham Jr. in their wide receiving room. Anyway, he was released by the Dolphins last December after struggling to make an impact over 9 games with the Fish. He had 9 catches in 9 games for 55 yards.
He's just not a threat anymore.
He's not the deep ball.
He's not the deep ball downtown threat that he used to be. I mean, that's what you get when you're 33 years old. Man, age catches up with you, and you just aren't quite as agile and fleet of foot as you used to be. This comeback attempt is not going to happen.
Well, he's not going to be making a comeback attempt anytime soon. He's on the shelf for 6 games for violating the NFL's policy on performance-enhancing drugs.
Which at that point, you're firing whoever your trainer is, because your trainer should know what is and what is not a performance-enhancing drug. So I'm firing my trainer. saying, hey, thanks for halting my comeback efforts. You know, it's not on these NFL athletes. Like, they have people for that. They literally have people that will go out and make sure that the products that they're getting are not going to be violating any code of conduct from the league, and they just blatantly ignore it.
Yeah, he was nabbed last year when he was with the Miami Dolphins. So
there you go.
But those are some stories we've got bubbling under the headlines, so to speak. If you'd like to join us, you can. Plenty of time to chat with us today on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's a number you can call in and chat with us anytime. They can leave us a message on our social media sites. We're monitoring those comments as well. Again, the Survivor picks for Tyson and I coming up at 7:30 this morning. We're amongst the eight that are still alive in our Survivor pool. So we'll let you know what our picks are for this week. I've got mine locked in. I locked them in early this morning. So I'll unveil that at 7:30. The other folks, the other 6 that are left in the Survivor pool need to get their picks in by 6 p.m. Tomorrow night. You don't want to get this far in the Survivor Series and then blow off the pick.
Who is, let's look at that. Who is left on the Survivor picks?
Oh, yeah.
We can take a look at the standings. Hell, there's only 8 of us. This shouldn't be that hard. Dennis is still alive. He's eligible for prizes, despite... Anyways, Dennis is still alive and eligible for prizes. Eric is still alive, little E. He's hanging in there. We got Lexi from the Bracket Challenge is back and still at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, who's helping her in the sports world?
I think this is all Lexi.
Yeah, she was amongst the finalists for our Bracket Challenge in basketball, and here we throw a football contest at her, and she's like amongst the
oracle of all sports. It's Lexi Brooks.
So Lexi's still in.
Lexi's still alive. You're in, but ineligible for prizes.
They had to put a little asterisk beside my name and your name.
Not happy about it. Russ is still alive. He had the Colts last week, and he is hanging in there. And then we've got the 3 ties. It's a 3-way tie down in the bottom. You got Ty Schleicher, Tyler Moritz, and myself all hanging out.
I guess you got to be named Ty or Tyson or
Tyler.
Something else that has the same ring to it to get to the finals.
Out of the 8 remaining contestants, and you got 3 that are Ty.
That's a cool
you got to go for the ties.
I'm still waiting to see how we're going to handle this if you and I are like in the finals of this thing.
Nah, dude, like next week, if we're still alive, I've locked in my pick, by the way. If we're still alive next week, you'll be hearing from my agent.
Well, yeah,
we're gonna start. We're gonna start some serious negotiations, and I will have an agent that gets involved.
We need to have a mediator, some sort of a legal mediator.
There was no contract that said we were ineligible when we started the show.
We didn't expect to be here.
To be fair, we are in very unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, we didn't expect to be amongst the final 8. To be darn right honest with you, when we started this Survivor pool, we thought, hell, we won't be around at the end.
Right. I was just going to give some nice picks for the weekend. I was just going to set you up and
hang out for
here's 3 games I'm looking at. Too bad I can't pick them. No, now it's like for glory and
yeah, have you seen my football gambling this year?
Yeah.
I can't pick against the spread. But
you want to pull up that record real quick for everyone to see?
It's ready for this weekend.
That's right.
It's ready for this
weekend.
Weekend.
You dodged a big...
Well, last week I was 1-4.
You're under 500, right?
No, I'm right at 500.
Right at 500 for the year.
And so is the IT guy. Then you got a slight lead over us.
Yeah, well, I mean, I opened up with that 4-1 weekend, so that helped.
So you're leading the Blazing 5. That's coming up on Friday. But All right, we got our Survivor picks coming up here momentarily. Waking
Drop
up
yours
with Mike
if you're still alive.
Yeah, I hope.
Drop yours below.
Yeah, the people, even if you're not amongst the 8 people left, if you want to leave your Survivor pick on the social media sites, you can drop the
Try to
picks on
sway
it.
us at the last minute.
Yeah, sway us. Leave our picks for Survivor this week. Who's going to win week number 6 of the NFL season? Anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning at 7:25 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Some news and notes from the city of Hastings this week. This week is Fire Prevention Week. Hastings Fire and Rescue is hosting a series of events in support of the year's Fire Prevention Week campaign, including an open house from 9 a.m. until noon on Saturday at Fire Station 1. The open house includes station tours and kids' activities. Hastings firefighters will also be providing a free pancake breakfast. October 5th through the 11th is also Public Power Week as well as Public Natural Gas Week. The American Public Power Association and American Public Gas Association lead a celebration each year of public power and public natural gas utilities across the country and the values they bring into our communities. Locally owned and operated electric and natural gas service providers like the City of Hastings Utility Department have always been at the forefront of serving the community. Speaking of Hastings Utilities, budget billing customers will pay for the utilities they use during the month of October before resuming the budget billing monthly average format in November. This will allow the updated system to be established before the new 12-month budget billing cycle takes effect. October is a good month for such a change because there is typically less utility consumption compared to other times of the year. Going forward, customers will no longer pay for 12 months of utility usage in 11 months. The amount budgeted billing customers pay each month will be updated each October based on the previous 12 months of usage. 7:26, we'll spin things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike Will, what's going on in sports?
Well, the Nebraska football team will play at Maryland on Saturday. The Huskers continue to lead the nation in pass defense. They're giving up only 91.8 yards per game. Maryland is 9th in the Big Ten Conference in passing offense. They're averaging 256.4 yards per game. Kickoff for Saturday's game will be at 2:30. You'll be able to see it on BTN. The Nebraska men's basketball team will make a minimum of 21 national TV appearances during the 2025-2026 season. Nebraska will make an appearance on Fox for the regular season finale against Iowa. They'll appear 6 times on FS1 and 14 times on the Big Ten Network. The Nebraska women's basketball team will be featured on 11 games on the Fox family of networks, with all 11 games against 2025 postseason teams. The 11 TV appearances include 9 games on BTN, 1 on FS1, and 1 on Fox. Hastings College soccer teams will entertain Concordia tonight at Lloyd Wilson Field. Men's game will be at 5:30. The women to follow at 8. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning at about 5:15 this afternoon. The Nebraska Kearney volleyball team swept Fort Hays State last night, 25-19, 25-11, 25-20. The Lopers are now 18-0 on the season, 5-0 in the MIAA. Emily Lane and Bryn Stowell had 13 kills apiece for UNK. St. Cecilia powered their way to the C1 Subdistrict Softball Championship yesterday with a pair of wins. The Hawkettes beat Highway 91 in the first game 10-2. Sydney Head, Audrey Rosso, and Madison Bauer each had a home run for the Hawkettes. St. Cecilia beat Wilbur Claytonia in the second game 12-3. The Hawkettes broke the game open by scoring 9 runs in the second inning. St. Cecilia now 22-6 and will play in the district finals on Friday. The other sub-district winners from yesterday included Bishop Newman, Central City, Kearney Catholic, Utan Meade, Fort Calhoun, NEN, Centura, Guardian Angels Central Catholic, and Twin River. Volleyball from yesterday. Gretna beat Hastings High 25-15, 25-12, 25-5. The Tigers are now 4-18. Adams Central defeated York 25-22, 25-20, 15-25, and 25-23. The Patriots are now 17-7. St. Cecilia took care of Centura 25-21, 25-8, 18-25, and 25-20. The Hawkettes are now 17-7. Major League Baseball playoffs from yesterday. Seattle beat Detroit 8-4, and the Yankees came back to beat Toronto 9-6. Seattle and the Blue Jays lead their respective series now 2-1. All 4 divisional series will resume today. Good day for some TV watching for baseball. Seattle is at Detroit. Milwaukee is at Chicago. Toronto at the New York Yankees. And Philadelphia at Los Angeles. That's a check of your sports headlines today. Coming up on 7:31 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
We made it to the middle of the work week, and temperatures don't start to rebound today. It'll still be a nice fall day, but we will see warmer readings coming in as we finish off the work and school week and head into the weekend. Today, 65 will be the high, plenty of sunshine, south-southeast winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour gusts in the mid-20s. Overnight tonight, we dip down to the 50s. Tomorrow, we're back to the mid-70s with plenty of sunshine.
As you wake up, get going this morning, we've got southeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Clear skies. It is 44 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Will, Science Center Bronick with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. Again, thanks for joining us again this morning, whether you're listening online on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning, 7:35. It's time for our reveal show.
To Survivor Island we go.
Like I said, there's several ways that we can go on Survivor for Week 6 of the NFL season. As Tyson and I will unveil our picks a day early. Everybody else, I say everybody, the other 6 people that are in the Survivor pool with us, you got until tomorrow at 6 p.m. to lock in your picks. Amber's already chimed in this morning on her social media sites. She says, if the damn Bills didn't take me out, my pick this week would have been the Steelers.
Amber, I'm on her shit list for the weekend. First of all, my Buffalo Bills take her out of Survivor with their lackluster performance against New England over the weekend. And then, since I was all aboard the Chiefs bandwagon for my Blazing 5, I threw the bad juju and the voodoo on Kansas City, and they come out and we're losers. So I'm on her bad list.
Yeah,
I'm not anticipating a Christmas present or a Christmas card from Amber this holiday weekend.
No, you screw us out of the win on Monday night, and the Bills screw her out of Survivor. But if she was in this week, her pick would have been the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Who do the Steelers play this week?
The Browns.
In Pittsburgh?
Cleveland.
In Cleveland.
Where the hell is the game? It's in Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh. Against Cleveland. Yeah, that's a good Survivor pick.
It is.
I think that's a good Survivor pick. Mm-hmm. I'll let you know where I was looking.
Sure.
Philadelphia is playing at the New York Giants this week.
Tomorrow.
That's why I didn't pick this.
You're learning.
Yeah. The tones of last week when you told me Thursday night, there's something about a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Philadelphia and the Giants circled initially.
Niners had no business winning that game against the Rams last Thursday.
No.
The only conclusion that you can draw to the Niners' victory is it was Thursday.
So I crossed off Philadelphia at the New York Giants because they play on a Thursday.
How much you're learning.
The other games I looked at, Denver.
Yep.
Playing against the New York Jets on the road.
It's not on the road. It's well on the road. It's in London.
Yeah, that's across the pond.
Yep.
So that's not in New York. That's on the pond. And
that's on the other side of the road. So you're driving left.
So I don't like to play games that are out across the pond.
Yep.
So that eliminates my Thursday night game. That eliminates my Denver and the Jets game because that's going to be an early start on Sunday across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves me with 2 other games. I was looking at the Rams in Baltimore.
Yep.
That's in Baltimore.
Baltimore's got a lot of question marks.
Yeah, the Ravens, but you know that they're going to come out with a game that they're going to win that nobody expects them to win.
Not if they don't have Lamar.
But now they practice without Lamar.
Another week with the backup?
Yeah. So I couldn't quite pull the trigger on the Rams in this one.
Mm-hmm.
We heard the Wiesen boys talk right before we went on. Their pick for Survivor this week was the Raiders. I got to looking at that before we actually got on. I couldn't pull the trigger on the Raiders. I was going to steal their pick.
Yep.
I was going to steal their pick. So my survivor pick this week, lock me in. I'm going to be on the Packers. They're playing Cincinnati at home. We've been talking about Cincinnati all week long. Joe Flacco. Flacco is going to be the starter for Cincinnati. I don't see him going into Green Bay and spilling my cart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Flacco and Cincinnati, from what I have seen out of the Bengals, other than the quarterback spot. They're not a good football team.
It's a good pick.
Give me the Packers. Lock me in. Survivor week number 6. Lock me in. The Green Bay Packers.
It's a good pick. My thought process the exact same as yours for literally the first 4 games that you said. I thought the exact same way. I'm not taking it there. I still had Philadelphia. I have not used Philadelphia yet. I could have taken the Philadelphia Eagles, last year's Super Bowl champs. But that's Thursday game, and that's a big no-no. Listen, I'm not going to bet a game across the pond, especially if I know I'm not going to wake up for it and watch it. I don't know if Denver wakes up. It's weird. London games, weird things can happen. The layover and jet lag and short rest and short week. No, I'm not going to play a London game. There's no way in hell I'm betting the Vegas Raiders after they got blown out by plus 40 in their matchup a week ago. I'm not going to ride the Titans either, despite the fact that they had a game handed to them, and maybe pick up some momentum, have a taste of winning, and know what that feels like. You're going to do it 2 weeks in a row. I don't know. I'm not going to play that game. Baltimore, man, who knows what you're going to get. Derrick Henry could easily pound it down the throats of the Los Angeles Rams, and Baltimore could abandon all sort of passing game and just run the damn ball. So I'm not going to play the Rams game. In hindsight, probably could have taken a bigger look at the Green Bay Packers game, but I've already locked it in. Had no influence on Amber's say whatsoever. But Chief Endorf, scoot your cheeks over.
Oh, no.
Scoot over.
Oh, no.
Into the driver's seat because I'm coming hot in the passenger seat.
Oh, no.
Let's go Steelers. We're going against the Browns. Steelers are at home. I hate Cleveland. There's no way Pittsburgh loses this game. They're playing some damn good football at the moment. I'm all aboard the Pittsburgh Steeler bandwagon. Pittsburgh, my survivor pick for the week, to beat Cleveland. That'll make Amber triply mad.
Oh,
if Pittsburgh wins this week, and in 3 consecutive games, I have been living rent-free in her head because of the Bills losing, the Chiefs losing, and then if I get the Steelers winning, she'll be irate.
She'll be looking for you on Sunday.
She will be absolutely irate.
Yeah, I would lock my doors.
I live for this kind of stuff. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a great pick, Amber. Sorry you can't play.
All right, so Tyson is on Pittsburgh. I'm locked in on the Green Bay Packers for this week's Survivor Picks, week number 6. The other 6 people that are still alive, you got until 6 o'clock tomorrow night to lock in your picks. Amber's going to go out and she's going to buy all kinds of brown stuff today.
Go
to
for
get ready for your game.
Go for it.
Boy, you and her got kind of a rivalry going.
It'd be even better. Do we play each other in fantasy football this week? Because that would be even better.
Oh,
that would be icing on the absolute cake.
No, I play her.
You do?
Yeah, I play her. So.
What do I got?
You see I won last week?
Did you really?
Yep. I beat a top dog.
I didn't see because I'm so far in front at the top of the standings that I'm looking down at everybody else.
I saw that.
5-0, baby.
You're 5-0.
And the highest is 3-2, and we're playing each other this week. So second place fully up for grabs for Amber, Dakota, Stroman, Dennis. All have the opportunity to to catapult up the standings if the number 2 seed falls.
I've won my last 2 games now. I'm at 2-3.
You won 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's a streak.
I've won 2 games in a row. I knocked off one of the head dogs last week.
Oh, my. Shane and KK.
They play each other this week.
No, but they're down at the bottom. Both are 1-4.
That's because they exchange information all the time.
Yeah, clearly it's the bad information.
Anyway, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is a Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. It is 7:45. Talk a little Husker football, shall we? Huskers are getting ready to take on Maryland Saturday on the road. That'll be a 2:30 starting time on BTN. Had a chance to hear from Nebraska offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson yesterday. He says he expects to face a tough defense this weekend.
Explosive, athletic. They look great, look the part. The guys are well coached, and they play hard. They play with intensity, and they're very athletic. So once again, be a tremendous challenge for us to continue to improve. Times in the game last week we improved, and times in the game last week we did not improve. We all saw that. So it's another opportunity to go out there and get better. I mean, it's Big Ten football that's going to be challenging every week. We know that. We realized that last week was challenging, and I was proud of how we worked ourselves out of some things to finish the way that we finished. Talk about one-score games all the time. That one wasn't, So, got to travel and go up there and play an opponent on their field, and a good opponent on their field. I'm sure they're going to be motivated with how that fourth quarter went for them last week, and we will prepare and expect their best.
Now, looking back to last week against Michigan State, Nebraska ran 25 plays and picked up 19 yards. Yeah, there was that stretch in the second and third quarters. We ran 25 plays and picked up only 19 yards.
Yeah, it is tough. Ironically enough, the last time I experienced that was 2013 at Maryland. Hadn't been through a 2-quarter stretch like that. That was tough. There is a lot that went into it. I can give you a bunch of excuses, but at the end of the day, it's about just executing, and we didn't do that. Every play that we called, and there's an explanation for what went wrong on every play. And whether it was one guy or whether it was a bad call or, somebody got whipped or somebody busted an assignment or whatever it was, you can pinpoint what went wrong on every single play, and so that's our job as coaches. But, it was challenging. We just had so much momentum, and that first drive, we 3-and-outed them, and first drive was an outstanding drive. We actually converted three third downs on that drive. They gave us credit for 2 because we took the penalty, but Luke had got the first down on that. So we converted 3 first downs and then punched it in, when we're in the low red zone. So we were excited to see that. Then we sat there on the sidelines for 30 minutes, and we got more momentum, which was awesome, and crowd was into it and we were feeling it. And then we next time we go out there 30 minutes later was after an explosive play by Ja'Cory. The one thing that saved us in the second quarter is our field position was just as good as it possibly can be, with the punt return and a couple of turnovers and all that. So we had just outstanding field position. Now the problem is offensively we went backwards. But that helped save field position. It didn't give them great field position. Credit to our defense, who I thought played outstanding. Credit to our special teams, which played outstanding and gave us really good field position, but we just sucked. Okay, but it didn't kill the team, because of field position, but typically when you have something like that, it happened 2 times. You have a game-changing play. You usually go out there and attack. Okay, and I called 2 plays to score. And we had Dane running wide open for a touchdown. We had Ja'Cory running wide open for a touchdown. Had a MA at left tackle, and then we had a MA at running back, which cause sacks, and so we were going backwards. It just seemed like everything we were doing was going backwards, and so, we get it to I think his third quarter, we get it to a 3rd and 1, and then Justin was our player of the game. He's played amazing, but he got a 15-yard penalty. I mean, that forced 3rd and 16. So just too many long yardage third downs that killed drives for 2 quarters, and it was dire. Both those quarters were going into the wind. It's not the last time that we're going to face wind. It's not the last time we're going to face weather. It's not the last time that we're going to face adversity. It just when that happens, it snowballs. And when it snowballs, you just got to have a spark to get out of it. And Dylan gave us a spark, right there towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Didn't look like the wind affected that pass, but Jacory, he ad-libbed because the inside receiver didn't clear it the way he was supposed to. And Dylan found him and that changed the whole sideline. It changed the entire sideline, and so for, and I hadn't been here for the last 10, 12 years or whatever it is, so I really don't care about what it's been like, but you could sense that on the sidelines. But then we made a play, it sparked us, and then we played great the rest of the game, and so kudos to our coaches for not losing their minds. Kudos to our players for just hanging in there. And then obviously our quarterback sparked us, Jacory sparked us, and then we played good the rest of the way and won by 11.
We're listening to offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson as the Huskers get ready to take on Maryland this weekend. Let's talk about the Husker rushing attack. Emmett Johnson ran for 83 yards, 3 touchdowns in the ballgame against Michigan State last week. But Nebraska was sacked 5 times. They lost 35 yards on the 5 sacks. So Nebraska ended up rushing for 67 yards against the Michigan State last week, but Dana says he was happy with the rushing attack.
It's hard to call more runs when you're going backwards, okay? And so for 2 quarters there, we weren't very good at it. We weren't good at anything, okay? So, but Emmett had, 6 yards a carry or whatever it was, almost 100 yards. We only called I think it was 19 runs, but we only snapped it 52 times. I threw a lot of screens and stuff just because they were pressuring us. If we kept running the ball, you're still running it into pressures. And so my answer was screens and stuff. And, if we get into rhythm, I think that run number is going to take care of itself. I was pleased with Mosey going in there, running hard. He had a couple good runs. Makai's first run hit for a first down. I'm actually excited where we're at in the run game, and we showed improvement. The flow of the game is why those numbers looked like crap. The sacks are why those numbers looked like crap.
Holgerson says he expects to see a lot of pressure from the Maryland defense this weekend.
They got the 29 and 9 off the edge. Young kids, I've never seen young kids like that with that much explosion. The backers will, they're gonna bring them. They line one of them up at end in passing situations. There's the inside guy, number 10, who I actually know. His grandma was my secretary, ironically enough. Kid was a quarterback in high school. He turned into their best D lineman. Proud of him. He was in the office a lot, but they're gonna pressure, and we got a big challenge ahead of us, and I'm excited about that challenge. Can we improve to the point to where we can protect the quarterback? My job is to protect the quarterback. I got to put him in position to get the ball out. I got to get those guys to protect him.
Yeah, that's Dana Holgerson as the Huskers continue preparations for Saturday's game against the Terrapins of Maryland. It will kick off at 2:30. You'll be able to see it on BTN. So we'll hear from John Butler, the defensive coordinator, coming up on the show tomorrow.
Not making any excuses for it. We just sucked.
Yeah, he just lays it out there. We sucked.
Data is so black and white when he talks in press conferences. He's going to tell you how it is. And he came in, and that's how I knew he was the guy to run this offense when he came in last year as our consultant. And, right away, he was like, well, if I was offensive coordinator, these receivers that aren't blocking would be on the bench. And I'm just like, oh, I want this guy. I want him to call plays. I want him to be on the sideline. I want him to be coaching these kids because he does. He calls it like it is, and if it's not good enough, he's going to tell you. And it wasn't good enough this past Saturday at times. Caveat, asterisk, whatever. At times, it wasn't good enough. But we were able to get the job done, and because we're finding ways to win. And so hopefully that will continue, finding ways to win here this weekend against Maryland.
All right,
first road test, though.
Yeah, the first true road test. We played in Kansas City, but
it wasn't really a road game for us. That was, I mean, especially the way the atmosphere was built, right, with all Husker fans. Does that concern you at all? Going all the way until October before you have a road contest?
Yeah, I saw this as like the latest that we have played a road game in a number of years.
It feels like it.
Yeah, we've been at home for like 4 weeks in a row, and we had a bye week thrown in there.
Yep.
So we've been home for a long time. Yeah, I guess that's concerning. You go on the road for the first time. You hear coaches talking about it. On the road for the first time, you got to get on an airplane. They're flying out. Their schedule is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Their practice schedule. They're going to leave, I think, on Thursday. That's what I heard yesterday. They're going to leave on Thursday. So, yeah, it's a little different. Coaches they like the continuity. They like to do the same things over and over and over again. They want their practice schedules to stay the same. So when you go on the road, you got a different animal there. So
and there's, I mean, naturally at the same, like, we got to remember, man, like, these aren't professional athletes, even though they're getting paid. These aren't pros, right? And so you're a college kid. There's distractions when you're out of your security blanket and you're out on the road. There's distractions, so you got to be able to silence those and focus in on football and continue to go to tasks. So yeah. I'll be honest. There's a slight little knot in my stomach about this being so late in the season and this being the first time we're heading on the road.
All right, 7:56. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Some news and notes from the City of Hastings. Budget billing customers will pay for the utilities they use during the month of October before resuming the budget billing monthly average format in November. This will allow the updated system to be established before the new 12-month budget billing cycle takes effect. They say October is a good month for such a change because there's typically less utility consumption compared to other times of the year. Now, going forward, customers will no longer pay for 12 months of utility usage and 11 months. The amount budget billing customers pay each month will be updated each October based on the previous 12 months of usage. Meanwhile, October 5th through the 11th is Public Power Week as well as Public Natural Gas Week. The American Public Power Association and American Public Gas Association lead a celebration each year of public power and public natural gas utilities across the country and the values they bring to our communities. Locally owned and operated electric and natural gas service providers like the City of Hastings Utility Department have always been at the forefront of serving your communities. This week also Fire Prevention Week. Hastings Fire and Rescue hosting a series of events in support of this year's Fire Prevention Week campaign, including an open house from 9 a.m. until noon on Saturday at Fire Station 1. The open house includes station tours and kids' activities, and Hastings firefighters will also be providing a free pancake breakfast. It's 2 minutes until 8 o'clock. Quickly, before we take things over to the Eastside Studios for sports, I did want to throw this in, just dropped from Adam Schefter. The Cardinals are fining their head coach, Jonathan Gannon, $100,000 after his sideline altercation with the running back who dropped the ball at the goal line that ultimately led to the Tennessee Titans' victory. They got into it, and the Cardinals have said, no can do. Got to be softer if you're a head coach. $100,000 fine for screaming at his player. Mike, what's going down in the rest of sports?
The Nebraska Kearney volleyball team swept Fort Hays State last night, 25-19, 25-11, 25-20. The Lopers now 18-0 on the season. St. Cecilia powered their way to the C1 Subdistrict Softball Championship yesterday with a pair of wins. Hawkins beating Highway 91 in the first game 10-2. They beat Wilbur Claytoni in the second game 12-3. Hawkins now 22-6. They'll play in the district finals on Friday. In volleyball, Gretna knocked off Hastings High in 3 games. Adams Central beat York in 4 games. And St. Cecilia took care of Centura in 4 games. And in the Major League Baseball playoffs from yesterday, Seattle beat Detroit 8-4. Yankees got by Toronto by the score of 9-6. That's a check in your sports headlines at 8 o'clock.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
We made it to the middle of the work week, and temperatures don't start to rebound today. It'll still be a nice fall day, but we will see warmer readings coming in as we finish off the work and school week and head into the weekend. Today, 65 will be the high, plenty of sunshine, south-southeast winds at about 10 to 15 miles per hour gusts in the mid-20s. Overnight tonight, we dip down to the 50s. Tomorrow, we're back to the mid-70s with plenty of sunshine.
Southeast winds this morning at 5 miles per hour. Clear skies 47 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Join us at Mileta Vista Winery for The Day the Internet Died, a hilarious mystery dinner that you become a part of. Hey, this is Mick inviting you to get your tickets for 2 unforgettable nights, October 18th and November 8th. Gather your friends, enjoy a great meal, crack the case before dessert. Seating is limited, so get your tickets today at MiletaVistaWinery.com, and don't miss the mystery that everyone will be talking about, The Day the Internet Died. Get your tickets online at MiletaVistaWinery.com, St. Paul, Nebraska.
All right, Mike Welch, Tyson and Vronick. Huddle up, Extreme Sports for a Wednesday. We had a couple of softball games on the air yesterday following Hastings St. Cecilia at the C1 Subdistrict Softball Championships. The Hawkins picking up 2 wins yesterday. Today we've got soccer. Concordia is going to be in town to take on Hastings College, and it's Lloyd Wilson Field. You'll have the action tonight. 5:30 will be the men's game. 8 o'clock for the women's game. We'll have all the action right here on Extreme Sports tonight with Hastings and Concordia in soccer action.
Should be a good contest on both sides. So you go back to the women's soccer from last year. It was Hastings and Concordia, the 2 representatives from the Great Plains Athletic Conference in the national tournament. After Concordia finishing runner-up. So looking forward to the Bulldogs and the Broncos tonight from Lloyd Wilson Field.
Yep, we'll have the action here beginning at about 5:15 or so. Catch all the action on Extreme Sports. So we covered a lot of territory again today for a Wednesday. If you'd like to listen to the show again or miss portions of the show, you can go to our podcast section on any one of our social media sites. You'll find the podcast. You can download that, listen to the show again. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.